Today we are going to look at how to create a ball sorting animation like this in Blender. So it's quite amusing to see how the different balls fall right in the same category. But the concept is very simple. So let's get into it. File, new, general. This light we will delete. We'll go to the camera view first, set up our camera. I'm using it for creating a YouTube short. So I'll simply reverse the numbers and I'll select this, N, view, camera to viewport, and this. So this is our camera. Hit the tab key, select this, then we'll scale this cube big. Okay, then we'll select this face and insert it to create a little bit of thickness, and then we'll extrude it inside like this. Okay, then we need more space on top, so we'll only select the top edges. We'll go to vertex mode, edit mode, select the top ones, and we need big distance for our balls to be there. Alright, now we will create a cube and go to edit mode and scale it so we can create some partitions, and the height can be little less. So we have one here, duplicate and put one here, duplicate and put one here. So we have 4 compartments for the balls to fall. You can go to the front view, wireframe, and make sure that height is the same. Now these seem little big, so I'll go here and change this to individual origins. I'll further scale them so they're thin enough. So that's our partition. Okay, so we'll go to 0. We will go here and then change this to cavity both. Alright, now we need the hurdles. So we'll go to add mesh cylinder. Our cylinder has to be 3-sided. I'm using 3-sided so that the balls can go away, like bounce off. Okay, so go to item and make this 90 degrees and go to edit mode and scale it small. Make sure that it is long enough. We can go to the side view and make it big. Now our box doesn't have enough depth to have more balls, so we'll just move it back. Okay, and then the cylinder, I will select the box, hit the tab key, then hit the A key to select everything, and then scale. Okay, it doesn't really matter how inside it goes, but to keep this for a clean view. Okay, so we are back to our, and then we will use the edges and bevel them so they are softer. If you want, you can select these also. Edge, bevel edge, then add some slight bevel and add 2 segments. So it looks cool. Okay, if you want, you can bevel everything. A, edge, bevel edge, 0.1, 0.05, then tab, edge, bevel edge, 0.01, 0.05. So I will select this one, shift select this one, shift select this one, hit Ctrl L and say link object data. That is better. So we get that. Alright, now we need a bunch of these. So go to the front view and shift D this and start copying them randomly. Okay, you know where your viewport ends, so you don't want to go beyond that. Okay, and then you can then work with the position. You can go to the camera view again and change the view a little bit if you want. Okay, I also created these wedges so that when these balls come down, they don't go straight, and there can be more of that bouncing happening. Okay, make sure that there is enough gap between these for the balls to fall. So something like this is good. Now that we have this, these all look big to me, so I'll make them a little smaller. Select all of them, scale them. Okay, that's good enough. Add mesh, UV sphere. We want them to be small balls, so 0.1 or 0.15. Object, apply scale. Everything we modified using the edit key, so still have many. Select everything, object, apply scale. Okay, so we will move this here and copy a bunch of this. Then you can select all of this, control select the main object, duplicate it, and copy a bunch of these. Go to the side view, control D, copy these, okay, and then we select all of these, go to physics, rigid body, passive, surface sensitivity, we increase the bounciness. Okay, then we'll go to object, rigid body, copy from active. So now everything has the same passive rigid body. Okay, you just make sure that it is, check it. Then you select these balls, and then you go to rigid body, active, and we increase the bounciness. Go to object, rigid body, copy from active. So everyone gets the same rigid body. Go to our viewport and play that, save the file, so just in case it crashes we can access it again. Okay, and hit play, and then it bounced back. Why did that happen? This one has to be mesh, and now it is working fine. Okay, now this one became active, so it's going to be passive. And now the balls are falling outside the area. So what we do is one, add mesh plane. Okay, and then rotate it in 90 degrees, scale it big to cover the area. Go to the side view and make sure that it is at the edge here, and we don't want this to be seen or rendered. Okay, so before we do that, we add a rigid body, make it passive, increase the bounciness, hide it, 0, hit play. Okay, and once the balls fall down, you select each compartment and assign a material, and you have to change the viewport display color. So you can change this color also, so you know what color that was, because you go here you only see this color here, and then you go down, and then again you can select the yellow color. Why is it not showing the color? We need the shadow also. We use the shiny one. We need to select them all again, and then go to Control L and say link material, because we only one object gets material and then we have to link it. So we'll do it again. Select all this, deselect our other things, go to material, remove this, add a new material, and okay, so maybe I'll use purple color. You go down and make this purple color also. Then Control L, link material. All of them become purple. Do the same thing here. Control, new material. Select some teal color. Control L, link material. We can select everything else and assign it a color also. Control L, link material. So now everything has a color. You can also play with the shadow, how you want the shadow to be. Okay, shadow fall off, things like that. Then when you rewind it and play it again, all the balls are sorted magically. Okay, now we are basically done. You can go to hide these, go to view, viewport render animation. Before you do that, you go and change this to FFmpeg. Encoding, you go to, I use MPEG-4, save where you want to save the file, and then go to view, viewport render animation, and you get your animation. One thing I did was to make this, now let us see when this ends. The whole thing ends in say around 80-90 frames. So if you want to make this slower, so you go to one view, go to add mesh plane, and then you add a plane here and scale it. You may have to recolor the balls, but you get the idea. So what we will do is we will add compartments and animate the compartments so that the balls fall in stages. Okay, so shift this and rigid body, passive, animated, object, rigid body, copy from active. Okay, so place these where you want them and make sure that these balls don't overlap. And then you can add more of these if you want, but you get the idea. I rotated this, so this one, okay, so we'll see how long these balls take to fall. Okay, so here at around 30 we can have other balls, so we can turn this on and add a little rotation at 29 and go to somewhere 40 and rotate it and move it out. Okay, and then this one, go to 55 and add a keyframe, go to 65, rotate the other direction perhaps, move it back. Okay, and then this goes to some other frame, add a keyframe, move it out and rotate it. Then you play it and you'll have a flow of balls continuously happening, and the 80-90 frames now stretches to around 200 frames. You just have to recolor the balls to get the effect. Alright, so that's about it. Thank you very much. So soothing and so amazing to look at. Magically getting sorted out. Before you render, you also have to bake the simulation. So you convert these into keyframes. So you save your work first, then select everything and go to Object, Rigid Body, Bake to Keyframes. And this may take time, so I'm not going to do it. but before you render, make sure you do that. And any anomaly needs to be fixed. Okay, that's about it.